You've been told to dream bigger, to write it down, to visualize harder, to speak affirmations until your throat goes dry. You've been told that the universe listens to desire, that if you just want it badly enough, reality will bend and hand it to you. But here's the secret no one explained. The reason why your manifestations have been blocked again and again is not because you're lazy, not because you're unlucky, not because the universe is punishing you. It's because you've been broadcasting the wrong signal, one you didn't even know you were sending. And until you see it, you'll keep spinning in the same loop, trying harder and wondering why nothing changes. Tonight, we're breaking the loop. Tonight, you'll understand why everything you tried hasn't worked and what to do so that it finally does. Once this lands, your reality will never look the same again. Imagine this. You want money, freedom, abundance. You light the candle, you repeat the affirmation, you picture the dream car, the dream house, the dream life. But deep in your chest, just below the surface, there's a subtle tension. Your body whispers a message your mind doesn't want to hear. What if it doesn't come? What if I fail again? What if it's not for me? That quiet contraction is the real broadcast. That is what the quantum field listens to. Not the words, not the vision board, not the mantra. The field reflects the dominant signal of your being, and your being is shaped not just by what you think, but by what your nervous system has rehearsed for years. That is why you keep attracting the same patterns. That is why love slips through your fingers, why money flows in then out, why success feels like chasing smoke. You are not cursed, you are conditioned. And once you see the conditioning, you can break it. Think about how many times you've asked, why is it not here yet? That very question vibrates lack. It radiates the message. It's not here. It tells the field, keep showing me absence. And the field, loyal as a mirror, obeys. You can't trick it. You can't shout over it. You can only shift it. But here's the shocking truth most teachers won't say. You don't shift by wanting more. You shift by wanting less. You don't move closer by tightening your grip. You move closer by loosening it. Manifestation isn't a game of force. It's a game of frequency. And frequency is not built by willpower. It's built by coherence. Coherence means your thoughts, your emotions, your body, your expectations are all humming the same song. But most of the time, they're not. Your mind says, I am abundant, while your chest hums, I am terrified. Your lips whisper, I am loved, while your gut tightens with fear of rejection. The result is static. The universe doesn't hear the words, it hears the static. And static never collapses a wave. That's why nothing changes. That's why you feel like you've been pressing on the accelerator and the brake at the same time. It's not that manifestation doesn't work. It's that it always works. It's mirroring the static you're sending perfectly, relentlessly, without fail. Let me ask you something. How many times have you manifested the very thing you didn't want? The fight you feared, the bill you dreaded, the breakup you replayed in your head. That wasn't coincidence. That was coherence. You were broadcasting fear, tension, expectation of loss, and the field mirrored it with brutal precision. This is why so many people believe manifestation is fake. They tried, they wished, they begged, and all they got was more of the same pain. But the truth is not that it doesn't work. The truth is that it never stops working. You are always manifesting, even in the moments you don't like what shows up. The field cannot turn off. The only question is, will you tune it consciously, or will you keep letting old patterns do the tuning for you? Now here's the deeper layer. You learned your frequency before you could even speak. As a child, you picked up signals from your parents, your teachers, your environment. If love felt scarce, your body learned to brace. If money was a fight, your system learned to fear it. If success came with pressure, your nervous system paired achievement with stress. These imprints became the dominant broadcast you've been sending ever since, no matter how many affirmations you pile on top. That's why you feel like you're working against yourself, because you are. And the work is not to shout louder, it's to rewire the system that hums beneath your words. Here's the real reason your manifestations are blocked. Your subconscious doesn't feel safe having what you want. Safety always beats desire. If your body thinks abundance means greed, it will sabotage every dollar that tries to stay. If your body thinks love means heartbreak, it will push people away before they get too close. If your body thinks visibility means danger, it will keep you invisible no matter how many vision boards you build. So what do? We teach the body a new story. We retrain the nervous system. We rewire safety. We let abundance feel normal. We let love feel safe. We let success feel calm. And when the system feels safe, the field finally shifts. Because your broadcast changes. Because your coherence locks in. And when coherence locks in, the quantum has no choice but to collapse the wave in your favor. This is not theory. This is physics. This is the observer effect written in your cells, echoing through your emotions, mirrored in your reality. You've been told manifestation is about thinking positive. It's not. It's about feeling safe in the frequency of already having. You've been told it's about chasing, hustling, proving. It's not. It's about allowing, aligning, receiving. You've been told it's about creating from scratch. It's not. It's about tuning into what already exists. Every version of your life is alive in the field right now. The wealthy you, the loved you, the healthy you, the free you. They all exist, vibrating as potential. The reason you haven't met them yet is not because they're far away. It's because you haven't matched them yet. And once you match, they cannot not appear. That's how exact the field is. So the first step is not to want harder. It's to notice where you're bracing. Feel into your body right now. Think of something you want most deeply. Pay attention to your breath, your chest, your stomach. Do you feel open or do you feel tight? That tightness is the frequency of not yet. That contraction is the static of lack. Don't judge it. Don't fight it. Just notice it. Because once you see the static, you can stop pretending it's not there. And once you stop pretending, you can start to shift it. You shift it by practicing safety in the frequency of already having. That doesn't mean faking it. That means teaching your body what it feels like to be calm, open, and steady in the presence of abundance, love, health. If money makes you tense, start small. Breathe when you pay a bill. Relax your body instead of tightening. Teach your system, this is safe. If love makes you scared, start with eye contact. Hold it a second longer. Teach your chest, connection is safe. If success feels heavy, celebrate small wins with lightness. Teach your body, thriving is safe. Every time you do, you broadcast a new signal, and the field mirrors it. Not someday, now. The reason people give up is because they think the field is ignoring them. It's not. It's obeying perfectly. The delay is not cosmic. The delay is coherence. The moment your signal is clear, the field responds instantly. But clarity takes practice. You've rehearsed lack for years. You've rehearsed fear for decades. You can't overwrite that in a single night, but you can in consistent moments, day after day, breath after breath, until the new signal is stronger than the old one. That's when the shift becomes permanent. That's when the field has no choice but to bend. Now let's go deeper, because this is the part that flips the game forever. Your manifestations weren't blocked because you didn't try hard enough. They were blocked because you were trying too hard. Trying is tension. Tension is static. The field doesn't hear, "I want it," it hears, "I don't have it." And it mirrors that. That's why your desires felt further away the harder you tried. That's why money came when you stopped obsessing. That's why love appeared when you stopped hunting. That's why opportunities showed up when you least expected them. Not because you were lucky, because your signal finally cleared, because you stopped gripping, because you let coherence emerge on its own. This is the paradox. The less you try, the more you align. The softer you get, the stronger your signal. Wholeness doesn't chase. Wholeness receives. And when you live from wholeness, the field can finally flood you with what's been circling you the entire time. That's why this moment matters. Because right now, you are no longer blind to the block. You see it, you feel it, and now you can dissolve it. Most people don't realize it, but manifestation has always been happening in their lives, whether they were conscious of it or not. The heartbreak that repeated itself, the scarcity that always seemed to return, the endless cycle of almost making it but never quite arriving, these were manifestations too. The field was not silent. It was speaking in perfect clarity. It was echoing back the frequencies of fear, of doubt, of lack that were humming underneath the surface. And until you recognize this, you will forever believe you are cursed, unlucky, or ignored by life. But the truth is not that you have been ignored. The truth is that you have been perfectly heard, and the mirror has never been wrong. Let's go deeper into the trap. You sit with your journal, you write down what you want 10 times, 20 times, 50 times. You close your eyes, you imagine it as though it's already real. This is the difference between wishing and collapsing. Wishing says, "I hope this becomes real someday." Collapsing says, "This is who I am now, and the field must bend to match me." The moment you become the new vibration, you stop waiting for the external to confirm it. You stop needing proof because your body already knows. And when your body knows, the external has no choice but to mirror it. This is the hidden code of manifestation. The code that explains why some people transform overnight while others spend years spinning in the same cycles. The ones who transform are not working harder. They are not more deserving. They simply broadcast coherence, and coherence collapses waves instantly. Think about the most magnetic people you've ever met. They walk into a room and everyone feels them before they speak. That is not luck. That is not charisma. That is coherence. Their thoughts, emotions, body, and energy are all aligned in one direction. There is no static. There is no contradiction. And because of that, the field bends around them. Opportunities open. People gravitate. Synchronicities multiply. This is the state you must practice. Not perfection, but coherence. Not louder words, but cleaner vibration. The world does not respond to your volume. It responds to your clarity. So why haven't you done this yet? Because clarity feels dangerous to the part of you that survived through static. If your nervous system grew up in chaos, peace feels unsafe. If you survived by shrinking, expansion feels terrifying. If you learn to find identity in struggle, ease feels suspicious. So the moment you get close to coherence, resistance arises. Not because you are broken, but because your system is loyal to the familiar. Resistance is the body saying, "Don't go there. I don't know if we'll survive." And this is where most people stop. They hit resistance and assume it's a sign they are not ready. They retreat back to the old vibration, and the old loop continues. But what if resistance was not the enemy? What if resistance was the invitation? Resistance is proof you're at the edge of a new timeline. It is the signal that your system is about to cross into unfamiliar territory. The old vibration is fighting for survival, and the only way through is to stop fighting it back. Instead, breathe into it, notice it, let it soften. Teach your body that expansion is safe. Teach your heart that love is safe. Teach your nervous system that abundance is safe. The resistance doesn't dissolve through force. It dissolves through coherence. Here's the hidden truth. The field does not measure size. It measures coherence. A tiny act done in full alignment collapses waves faster than 1,000 acts done in contradiction. One breath of true calm in the face of fear is more powerful than a year of anxious affirmations. One genuine act of generosity radiates more abundance than 100 forced visualizations. The quantum doesn't care how much effort you put in. It cares how aligned your signal is. And alignment is always now, never later. So ask yourself, what signal are you broadcasting in this moment? Not what you wish, not what you hope, but what you are actually radiating. Your body tells you, your breath tells you, your emotions tell you. If your chest is tight, you are broadcasting contraction. If your breath is shallow, you are broadcasting fear. If your mind is racing, you are broadcasting chaos. This is not a judgment, it's feedback. The field is showing you exactly where your vibration is set, and once you see it, you can choose again. That is your power. Not perfection, but return. Not force, but awareness. Every return strengthens the new signal. Every return rewires your system. Every return deepens the new timeline. Now imagine living this way daily. Imagine beginning each morning not with panic, not with scrolling, not with rushing, but with tuning. Before your feet touch the ground, you ask, what frequency am I bringing into today? You breathe, you align, you embody the signal you choose, and then you carry it with you into the day. When fear arises, you notice it, breathe, and return. When doubt whispers, you recognize it as the old timeline and come back to coherence. When resistance tries to pull you back, you soften into safety. Day after day, choice after choice, breath after breath, you reinforce the new frequency, and the field mirrors it. Suddenly, synchronicities begin to unfold. Unexpected opportunities appear. People show up at the right time. Money arrives in ways you couldn't plan. And it feels like magic. But it's not magic, it's physics. It's coherence, finally reflecting back what you've been practicing inside. This is why gratitude is so powerful. Gratitude is not a mood. Gratitude is a frequency. It is the vibration of already having. When you feel gratitude, you are telling the field, I am complete. The same is true for love. Love is not something you chase. Love is a frequency you embody. When you radiate love, not as a performance, but as your natural state, connection flows to you like gravity. When you withhold love, waiting for someone else to prove they deserve it, you are broadcasting separation, and the field mirrors separation. But when you decide, I am love, now in this moment, the mirror shifts. Suddenly, conversations feel lighter. People are drawn to you. Intimacy deepens. Love arrives not because you begged for it, but because you became it. And health? Health is not just about diet or exercise. Health is a vibration. The way you speak to your body, the way you imagine it, the way you treat it, all of that is frequency. If you see your body as broken, the field mirrors brokenness. If you see it as resilient, the field mirrors resilience. Science calls it placebo, epigenetics, neuroplasticity. Spirituality calls it alignment, faith, prayer. But the principle is the same. Your biology listens to your frequency. Your cells are tuned to your vibration. And when you broadcast coherence, your body reorganizes itself in response. This is why the ancients spoke of numbers, of sacred patterns, of vibration. Tesla said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. He wasn't speaking in metaphors. He was speaking literally. Reality organizes itself around frequency, and you are the generator. Every thought, every breath, every emotion is a note. Together they form the song of your life, and the field is the instrument that plays it back. If you don't like the song, you don't smash the instrument. You tune yourself, and the music changes. So let's strip this down to its essence. Your manifestations have been blocked not because the universe ignored you, but because you have been broadcasting static. You've been saying one thing and feeling another. You've been asking for abundance while radiating fear. You've been declaring love while broadcasting defense. You've been visualizing success while embodying struggle. The field has not betrayed you. It has obeyed you with absolute precision. And the moment you bring your signal into coherence, the block dissolves. Not slowly, not someday, but instantly. The wave collapses now. Pause and feel that. The version of you who already has everything you desire is not far away. It is not hidden in some future. It is here, vibrating now, waiting for you to tune in. And the moment you align, you meet them. You merge with them. You become them. This is not theory. This is not wishful thinking. This is the mechanics of reality. And once you know this, you cannot unknow it. Once you see the code, you cannot go back to pretending you are powerless. You are not powerless. You are the broadcaster. You are the frequency generator. You are the one collapsing waves into form. Always have been. Always will be. You have to understand something that no one told you before. Your manifestations were never broken. They were never ignored, and they were never denied to you. What actually happened is far more unsettling and at the same time far more empowering. Your manifestations have always been working perfectly, just not in the way you consciously intended. Every repeated disappointment, every missed chance, every heartbreak, every financial drought, every cycle you swore you would never repeat, but somehow did again. All of it was the manifestation of the vibration you were unconsciously broadcasting. The universe was not punishing you. It was obeying you with surgical precision, responding not to your words, not to your vision boards, not to your affirmations, but to the deeper frequency pulsing through your nervous system, through your subconscious, through your body and every breath you took. The reason this truth is so hard to accept is because it exposes a shocking reality. You have always been manifesting. You just didn't realize you were manifesting from the part of yourself you don't control with conscious thought. Imagine this. You spend your evening journaling about abundance. You close your eyes and visualize yourself wealthy, free, radiant. You feel excited for a moment, but the next morning you wake up and the first thing you feel is anxiety when you check your bank account. That anxiety is not neutral. It is a broadcast. It is a frequency. And the quantum field doesn't care that last night you wrote down, "I am rich" 20 times. The field cares about the vibration of fear that your body is humming now. And because the field always mirrors the dominant signal, not the loudest, your life continues to reflect scarcity, not abundance. This is the hidden law that blocks most people. They think manifestation is about how much they want something, but desire has no weight in the field unless it is matched with alignment. The field is deaf to desperation. It listens only to coherence. Coherence is when every part of you sends the same message. Your thoughts say, "I am abundant." Your emotions feel trust. Your body relaxes instead of contracting. Your nervous system signals safety instead of threat. Your subconscious supports instead of sabotaging. When all these parts harmonize, the frequency becomes undeniable, and the quantum field reflects it immediately. That is when synchronicities unfold. That is when doors open. That is when miracles seem to happen out of nowhere. But until you reach coherence, you are broadcasting a fractured signal, and a fractured signal cannot collapse a new reality. It can only reinforce the old one. Here is why your manifestations have been blocked. Because you tried to shift timelines while your nervous system was still addicted to the old one. You tried to step into abundance while your body still braced for scarcity. You tried to call in love while your heart was still armored by old wounds. You tried to manifest success while your subconscious was still running the program of unworthiness. And the quantum, precise and unyielding, mirrored back not your hopes, but your hidden signals. This is not failure. This is feedback. The mirror was showing you what you were really radiating. And yet you blamed yourself. You told yourself you must not be spiritual enough, not disciplined enough, not deserving enough. But the truth is, you were simply uninformed. You were taught half the truth about manifestation. You were told to think positively, to visualize, to affirm, to want it badly enough. But no one told you that 95% of your manifestation comes from your subconscious, from the body, from the hidden patterns you don't even notice. You were manifesting unconsciously, and unconscious manifestation is why you felt stuck. It's not that you weren't trying hard enough. It's that you were trying in the wrong place. So how do you fix it? You stop trying to control the field with effort, and you start aligning your vibration with coherence. You begin to notice the contradictions inside you and gently resolve them. You stop forcing yourself to say affirmations while your chest is tight with fear. You stop pretending to feel grateful while secretly bracing for loss. You stop fighting your resistance and start soothing it. Resistance is not a wall. It is a wounded part of you asking to be held. The nervous system cannot be bullied into expansion. It must be taught that expansion is safe, and when it feels safe, the frequency shifts naturally. This is why embodiment is the missing key. Thinking is not enough. Words are not enough. Visualization is not enough. You must live the frequency before the external world reflects it. If you want abundance, you must breathe, act, and spend as if you trust money, not fear it. If you want love, you must open, risk, and soften even when your mind tells you to protect yourself. If you want health, you must treat your body as though it is already healing, not as though it is broken. Embodiment is how the subconscious gets the message. Embodiment is how the nervous system rewires. Embodiment is how the field finally hears coherence. Think of it like tuning a radio. Right now, you might be trying to play the music of abundance, but your dial is still set to scarcity. You can scream affirmations, you can pace vision boards, you can pray louder, but if the dial hasn't moved, the station won't change. You don't need louder words, you need to move the dial. And the dial moves when your vibration changes, when your body learns a new signal, when your subconscious adopts a new program. Once the dial shifts, the music changes effortlessly, and suddenly manifestation feels easy because it was never about forcing the universe to deliver. It was always about matching the frequency of what you desire. This is the moment everything can shift for you, because now you know the truth. Your manifestations were never blocked by the universe, by fate, by bad luck. They were blocked by the static of incoherence inside you. The universe has been faithful all along. Imagine living this way every day. You wake up and instead of immediately spiraling into fear, you breathe, you align. You ask, what signal am I broadcasting today? You notice your body, you soften, you embody the state you choose. You carry that into your day, returning to it again and again. Each return strengthens the new frequency. Each breath deepens the new signal. And as days turn into weeks, the field reorganizes itself around you. Opportunities appear without effort. People respond to you differently. Money flows in unexpected ways. Your health improves. Synchronicities multiply. Life begins to feel magical, but it is not magic. It is coherence. It is physics. It is the inevitable reflection of a new vibration. Pause here and feel this truth. You are not waiting for abundance, for love, for health, for success. They are not in the future. They are here now, vibrating in the quantum field, waiting for you to match them. The only thing that ever stood between you and them was the static of misalignment. Now you know. Now you can shift. Now you can collapse the wave. The question is, will you? Will you finally stop repeating the old loop? Will you finally stop feeding the old frequency? Will you finally choose coherence again and again until it becomes who you are? Because the moment you do, the field must mirror it. The mirror cannot resist. It never has. It never will. You have been told that manifestation is about thinking the right thoughts, holding the right pictures in your mind, repeating affirmations until your throat is dry, writing down your goals 100 times in your journal, and somehow the universe would get the hint and deliver. And yet here you are, years later, still waiting, still hoping, still wondering why it works for others, but not for you. And the answer is both devastating and liberating. The universe has never ignored you. It has responded to you with absolute precision. What you did not realize is that your manifestations were blocked not by bad luck, not by a cruel fate, not by some invisible punishment, but by the incoherence between what you said you wanted and what you were actually vibrating. This is why you felt like you were pushing against a wall. This is why the results never came. This is why you stayed stuck. Because the field does not respond to your words, it responds to your state. Think about this carefully. You can declare, "I am abundant," every morning, but if your chest tightens when you pay a bill, the field hears contraction, not wealth. You can visualize love every night, but if your body braces for rejection when someone gets too close, the field hears separation, not connection. You can script pages of affirmations about success, but if your nervous system still expects failure, the field mirrors failure. It is not personal, it is physics. The mirror cannot lie. And until you bring your inner world into coherence, the external will keep repeating the old pattern. This is why your manifestations were blocked. Not because you were doing it wrong, but because you were doing it incompletely. You tried to manifest with your conscious mind alone, forgetting that the subconscious, the body, the nervous system, and the emotions make up 95% of the broadcast. The conscious mind whispers, but the subconscious shouts, and the field always listens to the dominant voice. So how do you shift? You start by noticing the contradiction. Where are you saying one thing and vibrating another? Where are you asking for abundance but embodying fear? Where are you calling in love but radiating defense? Where are you asking for health but treating your body as broken? These contradictions are the static that blocks the signal. And static does not move the quantum. Only coherence does. When every part of you, thoughts, emotions, body, breath, subconscious, sings the same song, the field bends instantly. That is the hidden secret of manifestation, the one no one told you. The first step is awareness. Begin to notice your signals, not just your thoughts, but your body's truth. When you think about money, what happens in your chest, in your breath, in your stomach? That is the real signal. When you imagine love, do you feel warmth or fear? That is the real broadcast. When you think about health, do you feel strength or fragility? That is the frequency the field hears. And once you notice, you can shift. You can breathe into the contraction, soften the fear, regulate the nervous system, and return to safety. Each time you do, you bring yourself closer to coherence. And each return strengthens the new frequency. Now let's talk about why this is the most liberating truth you will ever hear. You are not blocked. You have never been blocked. You have been broadcasting, and the field has been faithfully responding, which means if you don't like the reflection, you don't have to beg the mirror. You don't have to fight the canyon. You don't have to wait for fate. You simply shift the signal. And when you shift, the field shifts instantly. This is why some people call it magic. This is why others call it quantum physics. But whatever name you give it, the principle is the same. Reality is a mirror of your coherence. And once you know that, you stop chasing. You stop forcing. You stop doubting. You start embodying. You start tuning. So how do you do this? How do you dissolve the illusion of blocks once and for all? You start small. You practice coherence in micro moments. When fear rises, you breathe instead of spiral. When doubt whispers, you soften instead of tighten. When scarcity knocks, you relax instead of contract. These are not small acts. They are seismic. Every single time you choose coherence, you collapse a new wave. Every single time you regulate, you shift timelines. Every single time you return, you strengthen the new signal. And soon, coherence becomes normal. Abundance feels natural. Love feels safe. Health feels obvious. Opportunity feels inevitable. That is the point where manifestation stops being something you do and becomes who you are. You no longer say, "I am manifesting." You say, "I am," and reality echoes, "You are." Now let me give you a vision of what happens when you live this way. Imagine waking tomorrow morning, and instead of reaching for your phone, you reach for coherence. You breathe deeply. You feel gratitude in your chest. You soften into already having. That becomes your baseline. As you move through your day, the old triggers still appear, but instead of collapsing, you return. Instead of spiraling, you soften. Instead of panicking, you breathe. And each time, the static fades. Each time, the melody strengthens. Each time, the field mirrors more clearly. By the end of the week, small synchronicities arrive. A call you didn't expect, an opportunity you didn't chase, a feeling of ease you didn't force. By the end of the month, the old patterns feel weaker. The old fears feel quieter. The new frequency feels normal. By the end of the year, you barely recognize yourself. Abundance flows. Love deepens. Health stabilizes. Opportunities multiply, and you realize nothing external changed first. You changed first. You became coherent, and coherence changed everything. And now I want you to imagine something even bigger. Imagine a world where millions of people understood this. Imagine a world where coherence became the norm instead of chaos. Imagine families broadcasting safety instead of fear. Communities broadcasting abundance instead of lack. Nations broadcasting love instead of division. The field would mirror it instantly. Reality itself would reorganize. This is not fantasy. This is physics. The collective field is just the sum of individual signals. And when enough individuals become coherent, the world shifts. That is why your personal alignment is not selfish. It is service. Every time you embody coherence, you add coherence to the whole. So pause and feel this. Your manifestation is not just about you. It is about the collective. Your abundance heals scarcity in the grid. Your love heals loneliness in the grid. Your peace heals chaos in the grid. And the more you embody, the more you contribute. That is why the field responds so powerfully to coherence, because coherence serves everyone. Now, as we come to the end of this journey, I want to give you the ultimate truth. The block was never real. The static was never your identity. The doubts, the fears, the delays, they were never proof of failure. They were proof of misalignment. And alignment is always available. In this breath, in this moment, in this choice, you are one return away from coherence, one breath away from a new reality, one decision away from dissolving the illusion of blocks forever. So take a deep breath right now. Feel your body soften. Feel your heart open. Feel your nervous system relax. This is coherence. This is alignment. This is the signal that collapses waves. And as you hold it, even for a moment, the field listens. The field mirrors. The field responds. You are no longer blocked. You are no longer waiting. You are no longer chasing. You are becoming. And as you become, reality bends. This is the truth no one told you. Your manifestations were never denied. They were only waiting for you to remember who you are. A coherent signal, a clear broadcast, a walking timeline shift. And now that you remember, the waiting is over. The field is ready. The mirror is clear. The wave is collapsing. The new reality is here. So step into it, live it, embody it, because the block is gone and the only thing left is coherence. Now let's talk about why this is the most liberating truth you will ever hear. You are not blocked. You have never been blocked. You have been broadcasting, and the field has been faithfully responding, which means if you don't like the reflection, you don't have to beg the mirror. You don't have to fight the canyon. You don't have to wait for fate. You simply shift the signal. And when you shift, the field shifts instantly. This is why some people call it magic. This is why others call it quantum physics. But whatever name you give it, the principle is the same. Reality is a mirror of your coherence. And once you know that, you stop chasing. You stop forcing. You stop doubting. You start embodying. You start tuning. So how do you do this? How do you dissolve the illusion of blocks once and for all? You start small. You practice coherence in micro moments. When fear rises, you breathe instead of spiral. When doubt whispers, you soften instead of tighten. When scarcity knocks, you relax instead of contract. These are not small acts. They are seismic. Every single time you choose coherence, you collapse a new wave. Every single time you regulate, you shift timelines. Every single time you return, you strengthen the new signal. And soon, coherence becomes normal. Abundance feels natural. Love feels safe. Health feels obvious. Opportunity feels inevitable. That is the point where manifestation stops being something you do and becomes who you are. You no longer say, I am manifesting. You say, I am. And reality echoes, you are. Now let me give you a vision of what happens when you live this way. Imagine waking tomorrow morning, and instead of reaching for your phone, you reach for coherence. You breathe deeply. You feel gratitude in your chest. You soften into already having. That becomes your baseline. As you move through your day, the old triggers still appear, but instead of collapsing, you return. Instead of spiraling, you soften. Instead of panicking, you breathe. And each time, the static fades. Each time, the melody strengthens. Each time, the field mirrors more clearly. By the end of the week, small synchronicities arrive. A call you didn't expect, an opportunity you didn't chase, a feeling of ease you didn't force. By the end of the month, the old patterns feel weaker. The old fears feel quieter. The new frequency feels normal. By the end of the year, you barely recognize yourself. Abundance flows. Love deepens. Health stabilizes. Opportunities multiply, and you realize nothing external changed first. You changed first, you became coherent, and coherence changed everything. And now I want you to imagine something even bigger. Imagine a world where millions of people understood this. Imagine a world where coherence became the norm instead of chaos. Imagine families broadcasting safety instead of fear. Communities broadcasting abundance instead of lack. Nations broadcasting love instead of division. The field would mirror it instantly. Reality itself would reorganize. This is not fantasy. This is physics. The collective field is just the sum of individual signals. And when enough individuals become coherent, the world shifts. That is why your personal alignment is not selfish. It is service. Every time you embody coherence, you add coherence to the whole. So pause and feel this. Your manifestation is not just about you. It is about the collective. Your abundance heals scarcity in the grid. Your love heals loneliness in the grid. Your peace heals chaos in the grid. And the more you embody, the more you contribute. That is why the field responds so powerfully to coherence, because coherence serves everyone. Now, as we come to the end of this journey, I want to give you the ultimate truth. The block was never real. The static was never your identity. The doubts, the fears, the delays, they were never proof of failure. They were proof of misalignment. And alignment is always available. In this breath, in this moment, in this choice, you are one return away from coherence, one breath away from a new reality, one decision away from dissolving the illusion of blocks forever. So take a deep breath right now. Feel your body soften. Feel your heart open. Feel your nervous system relax. This is coherence. This is alignment. This is the signal that collapses waves. And as you hold it, even for a moment, the field listens. The field mirrors. The field responds. You are no longer blocked. You are no longer waiting. You are no longer chasing. You are becoming. And as you become, reality bends. This is the truth no one told you. Your manifestations were never denied. They were only waiting for you to remember who you are. A coherent signal, a clear broadcast, a walking timeline shift. And now that you remember, the waiting is over. The field is ready. The mirror is clear. The wave is collapsing. The new reality is here. So step into it, live it, embody it, because the block is gone and the only thing left is coherence.